What is what is Mein Kampf by Ethan Humphreys? What is Mein Kampf? Hitler wrote Mein Kampf while in prison. It was a blueprint of his agenda for the Third Reich and a clear exposition of the nightmare that will envelop Europe from 1939 to 1945. The book sold a total of 9,473 copies in its first year. When did Adolf Hitler write Mein Kampf? Hitler began composing Mein Kampf while sitting in Landsberg prison. Hitler was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. He would serve only 9 months. His time in the old fortress at Landsberg was hardly brutal. He was allowed guests and gifts and was treated as something of a cult hero. Hitler's arrest. In the fall of 1923, Hitler decided it was time to seize upon the public's discontent with the Weimar government and organize a coup against both the Bavarian state government and the German federal government. With assistance from the SA leader Ernst Röhm, Hermann Göring, and famous World War I general Erich von Ludendorff, Hitler and Nazi Party members stormed a Munich beer hall where the members of the local Bavarian government were gathered for an event. Hitler's arrest continued. Hitler and his men quickly brought the event to a standstill by setting up machine guns at the entrances and falsely announcing that the Nazis had seized both the Bavarian state government and the German federal government. After a short period of perceived success, several missteps led to the coup quickly falling apart. After being shot in the street by the German military, Hitler fled and hid for 2 days in the attic of a party member's supporter. He was then caught, arrested, and placed in Landsberg prison to await his trial for the role of the attempted beer hall putsch. Hitler's trial. In March 1924, Hitler and the other leaders of the coup were put on trial for high treason. Hitler himself faced possible deportation from Germany due to his status as a non-citizen or a life sentence in prison. Instead of projecting himself as a man guilty of treason, Hitler came across during his 24-day trial as an individual who had the best interests of Germany in mind. He was sentenced to 5 years in Landsberg prison, but he would only serve 8 months. The others on trial received lesser sentences, and some were released without any penalty. Hitler's life in Landsberg. Life in Landsberg prison was far from difficult for Hitler. He was permitted to walk freely throughout the grounds, wear his own clothing, and entertain visitors as he chose. He was also permitted to mingle with other prisoners, including his personal secretary, Rudolf Hess, who was imprisoned for his own part in the failed putsch. What was in Mein Kampf? There were 2 volumes of Hitler's Mein Kampf. The first volume covered Hitler's childhood through the initial development of the Nazi Party. Volume 2 of Mein Kampf, subtitled Die Nationalsozialistische Bewegung, or the National Socialist Movement, consisted of 15 chapters and was published in December 1926. In this second volume, Hitler laid out his goals for the future German success. How did Mein Kampf sell? Mein Kampf's first sales were not very impressive. It sold roughly 10,000 copies in its first year. By the time Hitler became chancellor in 1933, the book had sold roughly 250,000 copies. Selling Mein Kampf. By the end of 1944, over 12 million copies had been printed. To increase sales, the Nazi publishing house created special editions, including ones in Braille for newlyweds and for Hitler's 50th birthday in 1939. In addition, it authorized translations of the book into various languages, including English. Propaganda removal. Following Nazi Germany's defeat in May 1945, the Allies began systematically remove Nazi propaganda, including books, maps, films, statues, flags, and symbols from libraries, universities, stores, buildings, and city streets. Allied occupation officials removed Mein Kampf and other Nazi texts from circulation and prohibited its republication. Propaganda removal continued. American authorities subsequently transferred the right to the Bavarian state government, which used its legal power to prevent the reissuing of Hitler's book in Germany and elsewhere, with the exception of the English language versions. Mein Kampf today. Mein Kampf still remains one of the most widely published and known books in the world. This work of racial hatred was a blueprint for the plans of one of the most destructive governments in world history. Once a fixture in German society, there is hope that today it can serve as a learning tool to prevent such tragedies in future generations. Here are the references. The end. Thank you for watching. This was an educational video on Mein Kampf. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you. Bye.